Welcome to JGod Gaming. In today's video, I'll be focusing on the best ways to get better in Call of Duty World War II. This is episode 3 in a 3-video series. So hopefully you had a chance to check out episode 1 and episode 2. They will be linked in the description if you wanted to check them out. So far, we've had an opportunity to go over consistency, awareness, practice, class setup, head glitching, aiming. In today's video, we'll be focusing on movement, patience, and shooting first. Just a reminder, here's the rating system that I use to grade each of these categories, from never doing these things all the way up to often and always. So the key is to get everything to the green section. So let's talk about movement. The first thing I want to talk about when it comes to movement is strafing. This could have been included in my aiming tutorial, but I think it focuses a little bit more on the actual movement system. So when you're strafing, it's really moving from left to right and actually keeping your aim down sight. So the advantage of this is you can actually make yourself a harder target to hit, as well as being able to line up shots a little bit better. Because there's two types of aim assist, and there's one based off rotational aim assist. If you look in the different settings, there's a rotational aim assist, and that one is only active when you're moving. So if you're strafing, you're going to get an additional aim assist versus standing still. An effective tool in your movement system is using the jump shot. The reason why the jump shot's so effective is because it makes it an unfair gunfight. Reason being is because normally if you're jumping around a corner, you're kind of going after someone who's kind of stationary or camping. The advantage that you're going to have is since you're going to be moving, you're going to get the two different types of aim assist, which is the rotational as well as the aim down sight. Since they're more than likely going to be stationary, they're only going to have the one, which is the aim down sight. So when you jump out, if you pass by their crosshairs and they don't lock on, they're going to have no aim assist for that gunfight, and you're pretty much going to win. That's why that jump shotting is so effective in this game. Another tool is the drop shot. The drop shotting can be effective, but for higher skilled players, they can still get you real easy. It's not going to stop them from shooting you. But the advantage in drop shotting is you're going to reduce a lot of your idle sway since you're going to be on the floor. Your gun doesn't have nearly as much idle sway. You'll be able to actually just take a shot, fire, have a little bit better accuracy, and that's your only hope in winning that gunfight, because there is a slight delay from jump shotting to actually being able to aim down sight and fire. And the last part of the movement that I already kind of touched on in my previous video is consciously thinking about how you're going to navigate the map. Are you putting yourself in the best position so that you can actually maintain cover as much as possible and actually get in position to flank based off where your teammates are, where your opponents are likely to be, and where you can actually protect yourself from sprint to sprint. Since the sprint isn't super long in this game, you want to make sure that you're not caught in the middle of sprinting from place to place. Next up is going to be patience. Before I get into that, remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. 1 down, 2 to go. Let's get into it. Patience. Patience is actually a very valuable tool in this game. If you have more patience than your opponents, you're more likely to win these gunfights and put yourselves in better position. The main thing that I think a lot of times people neglect to do is running from gun battles they know they're going to lose. So if you come out of cover and you see some guy on a hard head glitch where it's going to be near impossible to get him unless you just line up these shots perfectly, you should probably avoid that stance and kind of reposition yourself. Knowing that you're going to lose that gunfight and reposition yourself to a better spot will just make it more likely for you to survive and then readdress the situation. Some head glitches are really hard to overcome. Some positions are really hard to overcome depending on the map, but it's better than just running out and knowing that you'll probably lose that gunfight and you go out there anyways. So patience is key in that situation. The other part of patience in this game is your health regen. It feels a lot slower, even though it's not significantly slower than Call of Duty's in the past, but a lot of times if you're already at lower health, even by one shot, you're going to lose that next gunfight unless you just happen to catch someone off guard. So a lot of times it's better to lay down, move back to teammates, wherever you can, just get that full regen so that your next gun battle can actually be a fair fight. This next one, it has a lot to do to waiting for enemies to engage. A lot of times what ends up happening, at least in my case, I'm guilty of it as well, is I get a little impatient when I know there's an enemy right around the corner, and instead of just waiting for them to come out, I actually pursue it, put myself in a bad position. It's hard to stay disciplined in the game sometimes because you just get really impatient and you just want to move around the map. Well, in some cases, that's not good to do. So what you want to do is when you know there's going to be enemies coming around the corner, post up in the best position possible, grab a good head glitch, and get ready to get that easy kill. 2 down, 1 to go. When it comes to shooting first, there's only 2 things you need to be aware of. One is your reaction time, which you don't have much control over, and pre-firing. The reason why I say you don't have much control over reaction time is because as you age, depending on what bracket you're in, as you can see on the screen, your reaction time is slower than people that are younger. So the really only way to counteract your reaction time is to be better at everything else. I mean, the more often you can do things better at all the other categories, your reaction time shouldn't hinder you as much. Just something to be aware of. The only other way to shoot first is to pre-fire, and pre-fire involves you shooting at where you think the target's going to be prior to the target actually being there. So you can either get a visual clue from the mini-map, or you can get audio clues from actually hearing the footsteps. Either way, you start shooting before they actually come around the corner, so you can actually land that second, third shot before they even get a chance to land that first one. And that's it for episode 3. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'd like to know your thoughts down in the comments section. If you did enjoy the video, go ahead and click that like button. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and click subscribe if you haven't done so already. And make sure you turn on notifications so you can stay up to date with all my future videos. Remember, it's free to comment, like, and subscribe, so why not try it out? Thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day.